Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven, 1845. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door, only this, and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remembered it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly had I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here evermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Pleasantly my soul grew stronger. Presently my soul grew stronger. Hesitating then no longer, "Sir," said I, "or Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came a-rapping, and so faintly you came a-tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but then mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad face into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore, "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim, an ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further then he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely then muttered, "Other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the digress of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking I betook myself to linking fancy upon fancy, thinking, what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining, with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. "When, wretch," I cried, "thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee respite, and nepenthe," I can't read that, "from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe word again, and forget this lost Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempest sent or tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead, whichever, tell me, I implore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Be that word our sign in parting, bird or fiend," I shrieked, upstarting, "get thee back into the tempest and night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as the token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door, take thy beak from my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of demons that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Hello YouTube, I'm Storyteller, and bit tired. Just got back from trick-or-treating, because you're never too old to do that, honestly. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Free candy. I don't like candy. Anyway, this has been my first dramatic reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to be dramatic. Honestly, I stuttered a bit. My throat got dry once or twice. I swallowed my tongue. That's a figure of speech. Either way, if you want me to read this again without all of the distractions, if you would, then comment. I would love to read this again when I'm not dead tired. I was everywhere. So, like or favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe for more. I will probably be reading John Keats' Ode to a Nightingale, and that'll finish me up with John Keats. Then I'll get started on William Blake, and then I'll find something by T.S. Eliot I don't hate. T.S. Eliot's a great guy. He just writes about church too much. And that is all. Farewell, YouTube. Oh, as a last thought, happy Halloween or the day after. I'm going to have to edit this video a bit, and it might take a while to upload. It's a lengthy poem. Okay, last thought over. Farewell. Have a nice night. Think of me when you eat your candy. Hopefully that ruined it for you. Candy rots your teeth. Okay, good night, YouTube. Or good morning. Good whatever time of day it is when you're watching this video. Farewell.